Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today we're going to be talking about fuboTV, going with the ticker FUBO. Make sure to drop a like to this video to help the channel grow, subscribe, and leave notifications on. If you would like to join our free Discord where you can ask me more questions, etc., chat room during trade sessions, you'll find it in the description below. Let's jump right into this one. So fuboTV, I've covered this one previously. If you would like to watch this one, the previous video, you'll find it in the description below. It's been a while since I covered it, but not a lot has happened. At least not a lot in terms of quantity of news that has been out, but there has been some new implications that occurred. So for fuboTV, this one had a drop of around almost 20% today. And let's just cover on to why that was. So part of it was related to the fourth quarter of 2020 earnings. Let's see some of the news coverage that we have here. So right on here, fuboTV exceeds $100 million revenue in quarter 4 2020, strongest year to date. But it depends who you ask, because for instance, onto the Seeking Alpha, fuboTV EPS misses by 1.70 beats on revenue. So there was a miss there on the EPS, so the earning per share. Yet the revenue was beat. So sometimes that happens, and it's normal. And when that happens, things start looking a little bit uglier in terms of a down or a pullback or a correction towards that point. So right on here, some of the paragraphs that they did mention into why this has occurred, and I'll go back to the shareholder letter in a second. Due to seasonality in our business as a result of fuboTV's sport first positioning and a heavier sport calendar in the second half of the year, we evaluate our performance on a year-over-year basis. Historically, quarter 1 has been softer than quarter 4 when viewed sequentially on its revenue contribution margin. Our first quarter of 2021 revenue guidance takes this seasonality into account, with revenues of 101 to 103 million versus almost 101 consensus. This would represent growth of 98% to 102% year over year, and a sequential decline of 2%. Sequential decline of 2 to 4% quarter over quarter. Similarly, our quarter 1 2021 subscriber guide includes 520,000 to 530,000 subscribers. This would represent growth of 81 to 84% year over year and a sequential decline of 3 to 5% quarter over quarter. Now towards the shareholder letter. And what we get to see here is that building on a strong third quarter, fuboTV delivered a record fourth quarter, exceeding for the first time $100 million in revenue. In addition, the company exceeded across all key performance indicators: revenue, average revenue per user, advertising average revenue per user, contributing margin, and paid subscribers, exceeding our previously announced guidance. The only one they really fell short with was the EPS, the earning per share. So some of the 2020 highlights. Total revenue was up 83% year over year to $268.8 million. The USGAAP as reported revenue was $217.7 million. Advertising revenue grew 133% year over year to $29 million. Subscription revenue increased 73% year over year to $230.7 million. Adjusted contribution margin was positive 10.1%, up from a negative of 3.1% to 2019. fuboTV reached 547,880 subscribers, which is almost 3 over 4 or 73% year over year addition. Notably, in second half of 2020, fuboTV grew by 261,754 net subscriber additions. Revenue per user, ARPU, per month increased 17% year over year to 62.84. And you get to see as well the analyzed ARPU, which is the advertising average revenue per user, increased from 109 to 754. So that's a massive jump there. Total content hours streamed grew 82% to 544.9 million hours. Customers streamed 7.2 hours per day, up 11.8% year over year. And so some of the quarterly earnings or quarterly highlights here, especially on the earnings part. On the fourth quarter of 2018, we get to see subscribers there, significant growth. So from 2019 to 2018, that was 100,000. From 2020 to 2019, that was more than 200,000. So there's definitely a really massive rate of growth there, almost double the rate of growth, and at least comes in towards subscriber count. When it comes to content hours streamed, we're looking from 40 million to 124 to 206. Comparable is still 66% year over year, but from 40 to 124, that was massive. But take a look into the ARPU. ARPU has been somewhat alright, 17%, and advertising ARPU is 52% higher. Now, these numbers you don't expect for it to be in the higher digits, such as 100%, etc., because of the nature of advertising generally. Adjusting contribution margin, we have 11.7%, which is 1,110 basis points. Guidance. So for the first quarter of 2021, you're looking at $101 to $103 million. And subscribers, you're looking at 520 to 530,000 subscribers. For the full year of 2021, they're anticipating 460 million to 470 million subscribers. You're looking up to 770,000 subscribers. And then the mission, okay, we already know the mission, acquiring. Recent data shows that streaming services continue to replace cable in American households. 1.465 million customers cut the cord from the traditional pay TV in the fourth quarter alone. fuboTV capitalized on the tailwinds in 2020 with strong subscribers growth. Our total subscribers reached 547,880 for the first time. In the fourth quarter, we achieved net subscriber addition of 92,800, an increase of 237% year over year. So that's amazing. They do go ahead and talk about, for instance, their agreement with Disney Media Networks, EPSN. Fubo has one of the strongest football offering in the market and is the only live streaming TV platform with every NFL in the market game and every college conference network. As such, our acquisition strategy remains to leverage sport and to acquire customer efficiently. Once on our platform, customers also engage with our leading news and entertainment content. It's in the broad mix of content, which includes 42% of the top 50 Nielsen-ranked networks, more than any other virtual MVPD. Next, engage. Engaging with the subscribers, different platforms, etc. Monetize, talking, for instance, about increase of ad, the ARPU. But here is the one that is really interesting, the wagering and interactivity. We believe our expected expansion into wagering interactivity will further differentiate us from our peers. Free-to-play predictive games mark at the beginning of fuboTV's innovative game roadmaps. We believe it will enhance the sports streaming experience, while also providing a bridge between video and our sportbooks. We expect the integration of gaming with our expansive live sport coverage will create a flywheel that improves engagement and retention, as well as it drives advertising revenue. We're excited to announce we've officially closed our acquisition of sports betting and interactive gaming company Victory, which allows us to accelerate the launch of our own owned and operated sportsbook, FUBO Sportsbook. We have secured our first market access deal of our sportsbook in Iowa through Casino Queen. We're also excited to announce agreements with Major League Baseball, MLB, and the National Basketball Association, NBA, to become authorized gaming operators to each league. These agreements will provide access to official data and include MLB and NBA league marks and logos within the FUBO Sports once it's rolled out. So once more, sports gambling. That is a big one. Definitely a really nice increase or addition towards their platform. I definitely think that will bring them more customers, etc. I think it's actually a pretty good way to go. There's not much more information here in this letter. As you get to see, there is a bit more details, specific revenues, where they lost, etc. But we're going to skip through that. The next thing here is fuboTV joins Digital Ad Industry Unified ID 2.0 initiative as connected TV partner. Again, this will bring back a bit more of advertising revenue. That is a little bit of older news as well. In terms of presentation and whatnot, I don't see one of the latest presentations that I'm able to access. There's no presentation available, although I did cover a presentation previously. Some of the events that they have, it's tomorrow at 9 a.m. Big American Innovative Seminar. And then you have on the 8th and on the 15th, 2 other conferences or events or webinars, whatever you want to call them, coming up. And now next towards institutional buyers, etc., SEC filings. SEC filings, including the $300 million in terms of the offering that they have made. And actually, it's right here. Right onto here. FUBO announces pricing of $350 million convertible senior note offering. And on the 28th, that was on the 29th of January, on the 28th, they announced the proposed offering of $350 million of convertible senior notes due 2026. So that is the offering I'm talking about. It's not a public offering, direct offering, etc. Then next, comes in towards institutional buyers. Institutional buyers seem to be really bullish. Take a look, for instance. Nomura Holdings, and this was actually on the 16th of February, 8.8%. Stad Mark, 6.36% on the 12th, 9.30, 11th, 580, etc. So it looks like institutionals, including until this day, including today as well, they remain very bullish. A lot of them have been adding. Take a look into how many greens we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of additions of different shares. The list goes on. I don't even think any of them have decreased their positions. And that is a bullish thing. Now, towards insiders. Taking a look into insiders, nothing significant. Not a lot of action happening here. Now, moving on now towards the technical analysis, but before doing so, take a look into the short float. And with today's drop, I think we are probably close to 30% short float. And that is dangerous if you're shorting the stock because you can easily hit a short squeeze. Now, moving on towards technical analysis. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe and leave notifications on. It helps my channel a lot. And if you'd like to join our Discord, this is a reminder. It's in the description below, totally free. You can ask me any questions you would like. Now, on a 1 week perspective, the 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA. That is bullish. It's within the trading action zone where positive reversals occur. Although, the 200 SMA is climbing down towards the 50 SMA. And once the 50 SMA climbs up towards the 200 SMA, that's called a golden cross, and that is a bullish action as well. Now, on the MACD, we're expecting here to see a negative reversal / accumulation because it's attempting it. Currently, the histogram is negative, and that is really interesting because it is either going on towards that negative reversal as we speak, which is a significant drop today at 20%, or it's going to go ahead and start accumulating within the trading action zone, which is not bad. And more likely than not, it's probably going to start accumulating because momentum here is actually positive. It's at 67, which is positive. William percent R is not highly oversold. It's still neutral, but it's the most oversold it's been in a while. Next, on a 1 day perspective, what we get to see here is that moving averages are looking a little bit sloppy. The MACD, it looks like it's more into an accumulation period, and we get to see that this is more of an accumulation period. This is no way really clear indication of a trend, and all the moving averages, they're almost all touching, so nothing is significant there. The 200 SMA is way below the 50 SMA, so there's no point of describing that. Momentum is looking negative, and the willing percent R is showing highly oversold. So a correction for this would be on the upper side. Next, on a 2 hour perspective, what we get to see is that things aren't looking that great in terms of the MACD. We're seeing a negative trend here. Momentum is negative. ADX is showing a bit of a negative trend. William percent R highly oversold. Although the moving averages are still bullish here, and it still has chances to see a massive bounce. For this, we need to look into the moving average band. The Bollinger Bands are 52.30 on the top, 33.42 on the bottom. The moving average band where we can start expecting this one to trade in is 47.15 on the top, 42.86 on the bottom, in the middle, and 38.57 on the bottom. Currently, it's sitting at 34 and a bit of change. Stochastic fast and stochastic slow are both showing that there is potential for this one to start accumulating here a little bit longer. It doesn't really show more of a push, but it says, well, this is probably one of your bottoms. Check where the supports are. And for that, we need to look into Fibonacci retracements. Fibonacci supports are as follows: 2901, 2117, and 850. Significant resistances: 3535, 4169, 5071, and 6221. And now we need to look into a bit of price line actions. Well, where are these supports and resistances we're talking about? Well, the first one here, you get to see that this is a very strong point, the 33.22. So if you're playing this one, be careful about this line. That's a very significant one. And it seems to be the stochastic fast and stochastic slow. I'm telling you, be careful. It's probably either that one or the 30.14. It shows that the support or the bottom is close. 25.97 after that, and before that is 29.39. So 29.39. And then we're going perhaps somewhere around the $25. And then the 20.22. And then 1573, and then we're looking at 1306. Significant resistances here are a few: 3763, and then above there 3971, and then above there you're looking at 4330, and then above there you're looking at 4796 and 5262. Comes to the question too, well, is there any trends that you get to see, patterns, etc.? Well, this is almost an inverted cup, but we'll ignore that just because things have been messy for this one. This was a trend line that I was going with. Currently, you broke it today, so things aren't looking that good. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? First of all, I liked the stock for a while. I think this is one of the stocks that was quite interesting for me. I believe that this one, in terms of a long term, it will still bounce back if you're leaving it 4 or 5 years, 3 years. I mean, multiplying it over. Now, in a short term, I think we're going to start either seeing an accumulation or a drop, perhaps to the 30 level, and then accumulation. And then it most likely will continue to bounce back. That's based on the technical analysis we've done. And they're really going on with the gambling industry. So really going on from what it seems like something similar to DraftKings. And if you're to look into, for instance, somewhere like DraftKings, that is definitely one of the different stocks that have seen a really nice growth ever since they've been on the market. They're sitting at 72.16. So generally, once that thing starts rolling out, their gambling platform, you will start seeing inflow of people, more customers, and more subscribers there. So it's definitely a very smart acquisition. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day.